Hello, everyone. We are live and ready to go. So welcome to Office Hours with Arrow, a LinkedIn Live event hosted by Arrow leaders who care about what senior living looks like. I'm your host and producer, Rachel Sheehan. Today, our topic is all about the holidays with our queens of Christmas, Kayla and Amanda. Yes, tell me about your shirts.
Well, hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to have you. Rachel, I just scarfed my lunch, and so I feel like I have food in my teeth. So
it's a party kind of day, so it's fine to eat.
I feel like, yeah. Well, for those of you who don't know, hello, I'm Amanda Tweeten, the Chief Operating Officer here at Arrow Senior Living. And Christmas, the holidays, are my most favorite time of year. When anybody asks me, what's your favorite holiday? I always say October, November, and December, because that is my most favorite time of year. The shirt that I am wearing today, my OOTD, is last year's holiday shirt. This is one of our residents. His name was Andy, and it says, "You may now unleash the cheer," which is from one of our Christmas songs. So hi.
Hi, Amanda. My shirt is the Queen Bee shirt. This has Sylvia on it. Oh gosh, yes, Sylvia Alfred. She was a resident of ours, and she refers to herself as the Queen Bee. She was the Queen Bee of Christmas, and I think it was like of Christmas, future, present, and past. So how
that was a line in one of our holiday raps that we did.
Yes. Yeah,
so, I think they were in the same video, right?
Andy and they were stars.
Yeah, yeah, they were. But I think Andy starred in 1 year, and then Sylvia starred in it another year. So
I love it. And so some people might say we're a little crazy for talking about Christmas early, but it also ties today is one of our July traditions. It's Christmas in July. So across our communities, our big parties today celebrating. I heard there's a hot bod Santa at one of our communities today. So who knows? Who knows what's happening? But we really want to use this time on our end to start planning for the craziness that we are a part of in November and December. So that's kind of what I want to talk through with your shirts. Actually is perfect because we have been starting to plan our Christmas music video. And so I don't know, Amanda, Kayla, you want to kind of clue everybody in what we do?
Well, okay. So for those of you who might be watching who have nothing to do with Arrow and you're seeing some loons dressed for the holidays, I encourage you not to click off just yet, because part of the reason that we chose to have this topic today was because we believe that the best way to have the most epic holiday experience is you have to start planning early, which is why we created the tradition Christmas in July, because there is so much you have to get ready in order to have the best Christmas experience. And so today right now we're transitioning into talking about our Christmas song, right? And our videos. So part of the reason that we're talking about this in July is because every year since for a very long time, we have been doing a Christmas song where our residents go into recording studios and they record a Christmas song, and then we record a Christmas video, and then right before Christmas we launch our Christmas holiday video, and it has become a tradition that actually started with Sylvia and Andy and their community back in the day. Kayla's husband, for those of you who don't know, he was a rapper. He rapped. And he could make sick beats. And so the very first year that we ever did it, I wrote the rhyme and Jonathan put together the beats, and then the residents performed it. I think the first video that we did was Deck the Halls. And Sylvia was the Queen Bee of Christmas, future, present, past. And only if she said it would the snow begin to
There
blast.
was like back dancers that would be like bobbing their head because they were just like.
I think this was the 2000s when we did it, early 12s. I don't know.
Yeah. Yes.
But we have evolved over time. We have transitioned from resident rapping, like RAPPING, not the actual like paper. But we have transitioned from residents who rap to residents who have choirs and who sing. And today and this week launched the big resident vote for this year's holiday song. It's usually something that we keep under wraps, is very like top secret. And so anyway.
So what song's winning so far? for this year?
So right now it's still Walking in a Winter Wonderland. I know today and tomorrow at the parties, they're going to be voting more. So we have like almost 200 votes now, and I'm sure they'll get a lot more at the parties. So yeah, residents can vote. I think ended up sending it out to our staff, home office staff too. So we'll see what everybody votes for.
So yay. Well, after like we choose our song, we then schedule events to go to a recording studio, and like we take a bus full of residents to the studio, and they record different songs. So like literally every community gets to go and experience like a recording. And like I remember one resident from the St. Louis area, didn't she like walk in and she was like, this was a dream come true. Like it was just like so cool, like to see like this is like once in a lifetime kind of things that they get to go and do. And then they like get the soundtrack back and they're like, oh my gosh, that's me singing, or that's my friend, and like they're so excited about it. I think seeing that like excitement in their eyes, seeing that they helped like produce and make this this really cool, because if you haven't seen it, go to our YouTube and like watch all of our Christmas videos, because they're really good. They're so good. But
yeah, and I actually put them in the comments there. So if anybody wants to watch, we have a bunch, and they get better and better every year. And yeah, like Kayla said, I was with a group last year, and one lady, she remembered she was on the radio when she was a little kid. So she was like, oh, this reminds me of when I was on the radio. And it was just a really cool experience, because I mean, who gets to do that at any age, let alone our residents. So it's just exciting. Amanda, did you have something to add?
Oh, I was just going to say, for those like out in the world that like think like part of the reason that we do this so early too is because of course everything has an expense to it. And I think some people might just automatically say no when a harebrained idea like this comes along. And luckily we have a CEO who is like a KNOW kind of person. But I think like proactive planning and like working through your budget and like what you're going to invest in the holiday experience, like now is the time to start thinking about that. Again, if you're an industry provider who wants to have like a dazzling holiday experience, which I think the reason why we choose to, so if we can, I'm going to transition a little bit into why we do this. Not just the resident experience in the recording studio and making a Christmas song, which I think we are at the point where we might be able to have our own album. We have so many songs. I think this year kind of solidifies that we could actually like launch an album. But part of the reason that we do this is I want you think about the holiday season for some residents within the senior living world. And, if you are somebody that has just lost someone, or maybe your family lives far away, and trying to create that holiday feeling, living in a senior living community, how do you do that? So part of our commitment is to come up with something to look forward to every single day. And I link this a little bit to the fact that my parents never introduced me to the Advent experience, which maybe it wasn't that big in the late 80s, early 90s. I'm dating myself. But like when I discovered Advent and Advent boxes in the commercial traditional sense of Advent, and I was like, you get a surprise every single day? What? I really leaned into that. And then like, how do you figure out how to create an Advent experience for residents? And you think about this, we're now at 40 plus buildings. Every single community and every, like whether it's IL, AL, memory care, you are going to have an Advent experience if you are living in an Arrow building, because from Thanksgiving Day until Greek Orthodox, every single day, something is going to happen in that building that is something to look forward to or something to experience, so that we're fostering a great place to live for our residents and a fun place to work for our employees. But in doing that, that means, so like this year, we have 41 days of holiday cheer, which last year it was 46. And I think some people think that that's crazy, but is it?
No, it's not crazy. It's not crazy. I mean, if you think about it, you're doing events every single day in the community. And like, this is just taking place of one of those events. And like, just to kind of explain kind of the process, like in the community, like we have like an advent calendar that basically like has a picture usually of like one of our residents, and then we'll have like a little envelope, and every morning like the residents kind of gather around and they open the envelope together to kind of see like what the actual event is going to be and like what they can like get like geared up to and like look forward to. And like that's a lot of times like it'll have it, yeah, there's the calendar. And it's just like a flip calendar. Every day has something new. And that's also really cool too, because it's like personalized with our own residents from all of our communities. And so that's also like a little treat too. Like, oh my gosh, who's going to be on the next day? Is it going to be somebody that we know, or is it going to be somebody from like a sister community? So the whole thing is just so fun. And there's a lot of like little details that go into it that, yes, I love it all. But they come down, they open the advent calendar just like the little gift every single morning, and they find out what they're going to do for the day. And sometimes it's like an acts of service. Sometimes it's like an event for the day. Sometimes it's a project that they're working on. So it's fun and it's engaging for literally like if you're just an only happy hour goer type of resident, then like there's so many other different outside the box ideas that we just help incorporate, not just your bingo playing resident. So,
which I will throw out to everyone. Part of the reason that we chose to have this topic today was because if there was anyone out in the industry or in a senior living community that wanted to participate, even whether you do all the days or you even do a few days, we challenge you to join us in a holiday cheer experience. And for those of you that like, I don't even know where to begin, don't worry. We've been doing this now for like almost, is it 4 or 5 years?
Oh, 4 or 5. I was thinking 4, but it might be 5.
But we've kind of built out like a system. So we've got a calendar of all of the days to consider. We have kind of a how-to guide of all of the things that you would need to know in order to host an event. Rachel's even created, Rachel's the brains behind a lot of the details of this. So she's
like
got
the
like
Amazon
shopping
order.
lists. Yeah, like shopping lists, how to do this, so if you wanted to throw a Marshmallow World happy hour experience, here are all of the things that you could potentially need and games you could play or things you could do, all in one handy dandy little guide. And so again, if we're willing to challenge you, we are also happy to help you with the playbook. So if anyone is interested in joining us, or please reach out to Rachel, because we're happy to share the information. Like, we are super excited for the holidays.
And that, to give some more examples, we had a question of what's your favorite holiday cheer event, which is so hard because there's so many good ones. But do either of you have a favorite?
I will go first because Amanda will try and take mine. It's the tree lighting event for me. That was one that we created last year, was our first year in doing it. And so we did start early. Like, we plant, like, some of the communities didn't have like a Christmas tree, an outdoor Christmas tree. And so we planted real trees in the communities in the late fall. And then we were able to decorate it up for Christmas. And then it was just it was a whole like experience, like kind of like a Hallmark experience. We had the specific ones that I went to, like, we had little markets that they could buy different types of candies, like Christmas candies. Some of it was even like free for the residents. We had food, we had hot cocoa bar. We had miniature ponies like come like as reindeer. It was the cutest thing. And then of course Santa was there. And then as it got dark, all of the residents like came around, and it was just like, it could like almost give me tears in my eyes, and I'm not a crier, but like, it was just such a really cool like experience of just like everyone that was in one place. And it didn't matter, like, it just felt like didn't matter like what your worries were for the day. It was like everyone was all together. And I think that truly just speaks to like the holiday season. Like, everyone's together. We did a countdown for the experience, and then the tree lit up, and it was just like, it was so cool. It was so fun. And I think it just brought like literally everyone together. And then everyone just hung around the Christmas tree. Of course, there were kids running around in and under the tree, and just having that like intergenerational aspect of it, but then having like the animals there, and then just everyone's there. Families came out for it. it was, and I only look for it to be like bigger this year.
It was a pretty big event. I went through the calendar just to refresh my memory. So every year I have had a different favorite event. So I figure I'll just take the last 3 years and go back and my favorite event over the last. So the first year, I think one of my most favorite events was back in the day, I created a Hallmark holiday hot chocolate drinking game. And because I am obsessed with holiday Hallmark movies, and of course, every Hallmark movie has those cheesy moments where they're going to some type of Christmas fair. Maybe they're going to Carol. Maybe there's a snowball fight. There's all of these like things happen. So we ended up making like a list. And so we gave it out to all the residents and the employees, and we're like, let's have a hot chocolate drinking game. We'll watch Hallmark movies and everybody drink hot chocolate. So that was one of my favorites. Another year, the residents get together and they make outdoor ornaments from like bird seed and things that animals can eat. And then they go and they choose a tree outside of the community and they do like the outdoor nature ornaments, which I thought I think I was surprised at how many residents responded to that event and really enjoyed it and wanted to do it more often. And so that became my favorite event. And then last year, we had picked up this Icelandic folklore tradition, which there's this like in Iceland, they have like this, it's Yule lads, but it's like this tradition. I think back in the day, they would scare children with these little like stories.
Some of them are scary. Some of them are like more funny. Like it kind of reminds me of like the dwarves kind of like every one of them has a different like little feature about them that's different. Like some of them were scary, but it's like just fun. And so that one actually was super fun too.
And you went online and you found this store in Iceland and you bought all these figurines, and then every single community got a different figurine. And so and it was kind of like a hide the elf
on the shelf kind of vibe, where we would hide it like throughout the like week or month. Some of them carried it out even further than that, but they would just hide it and it would pop up at different places. And it would, a lot of times, like if you got a mischievous one, it would be doing something like mischievous. But if you got one that's like lazy, it's like, just being silly somewhere.
Are they the ones that give the potato? Like if you're bad?
Yep. Rotten potato.
Yeah. So you would either get a treat every morning when you wake up over the course of the days of Yule lads, or if you've been bad, you get a rotten potato. And so like, that was the other thing that was funny is the residents who got rotten potatoes because they were ornery. So again, I think part of the experience of this is meant to create those again, fun moments, something to look forward to, something to do. I will say this, that if you were to ask every community in our portfolio if they love the 46 days of holiday cheer or the 41 days of holiday cheer, you may get some mixed reviews because it is a lot of work, which is part of the reason why we start in July. Because if you can get things planned and ordered and set up, you can prepare people to be really successful, which I think, Rachel, you are a perfect example of someone who is proactive, plans it out, gets things ready so that when it's time for the experience to begin, you're set and ready to go. And so for the resident services directors and culinary directors and communities that really take advantage of the planning time, they can knock it out of the park. But if you're a procrastinator like me, it can feel a little stressful.
And I will say, if you ask somebody that's done it 1 year, they'll say, yeah, this was stressful. Year 2, they're like, this is okay. And we have some communities that are really starting to look forward to it, already asking when is this going to happen? Because they want to start planning their entertainers or different things around this. So I'm just thinking of Heather at the Parkway. She is she's got it down to a T. She knows how to plan everything, and she's ready. And I think Deidre at Winsville too. They have it down to a T. And so don't if you try this experience, you're like, holy smokes, this is way too much. Give it another year. And everything just kind of falls in place and it gets easier. Because it's really not, we're not really adding anything additional. It's like taking a place of an already existing event too. So.
And also, we didn't mention that we try to get all the departments involved with this too. So it's not just on our resident services team. You know, every department head kind of picks different days that they're going to help with. Obviously, culinary is really involved. We didn't even talk yet about 12 Days of Christmas, but they do.
That's where I was going next.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I was going to say, so you might be wondering, how do you pack 41 days into, like, what are you doing this whole time? So one of the things that I learned through this experience that I didn't know was that the 12 days of Christmas actually start on Christmas Day. Like, I think I always thought it was earlier in the month of December. And so when on Christmas Day, we launched the 12 Days of Christmas experience, and that tends to be an opportunity for us to highlight our culinary team. So every day, so on the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. There's typically a challenge that's like, we challenge the culinary team to create pear desserts or some kind of pear themed dish that the residents can try. So it's 12 days of like a tasting menu of a variety of different things. And like some days, I felt like the turtle dove day, we ended up doing a challenge for like here you guys go. We even like feature the best chef dishes the following year. So it's kind of like a prize. But I felt like on the second day, we did something with like martini, like some kind of drink out. Like we were making like adult beverages for challenge. But anyway, I can't imagine that residents and employees don't gain some quality poundage during our holiday cheer, because there's like gingerbread, there's cookies, there's festive foods, there's the 12 days of like tastings. I mean, it's a lot.
That's what Christmas is for.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I love what you guys all the examples you're giving, because it's a wide variety. Like, it's not just food or not just fun, but even the Yule lads, like, that's super fun, but it's also educational. We're learning about a tradition across the world. And that's what all our traditions are kind of about, like bringing the educational experience into. So it's really cool. I mean, we celebrate Native American Heritage Day, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, Las Posadas, Yule lads, like all these different things. And it sounds like so much, but
yeah, I was going to say, one of the things that I was excited about, was it 2 years ago? We had a resident in one of our Cleveland communities that was like, I don't understand why you're not celebrating winter solstice. And we're like, we don't understand why we're not. And so like we incorporated winter solstice into the calendar. And so again, it becomes like this collaborative effort. And I think Rachel talking about, so like, if it starts on Thanksgiving Day, of course you have your traditional Thanksgiving Day. The next day right after that is always National Native American Heritage Day. And so like we've come up with some creative ways that we can be mindful and create educational opportunities for our residents and staff to better understand what the meaning of that day is and why we choose to like incorporate it into our piece. And so there are lots, you're right, there are so many different styles of experiences throughout all of those days.
Yeah, and some days too are even more simple than that, like writing Christmas cards. Obviously, we use those for something purposeful, but trivia day, like trying to make things easier on our teams on the weekends too. That's part of it. Or all those, just anything you think of that you would want to do around the holidays is probably in our calendar, or it's something that would be added or something like that if you celebrate it and we don't know about it. But
I just remembered something. So I was thinking about the fact that we even celebrate like Bah Humbug Day, our Festivus for the rest of us. I think Howard believes that we're going to be doing a Krampus DEI. Have you heard this?
I haven't heard it yet, but I can write it down.
I think you should write it down. I think I forgot. But like, again, for those of you who don't know the Krampus, like the tradition of Krampus, I think it's like a horror version of the holidays, which again, it's kind of fun and different and unexpected, but I think we need to do that. Okay.
Yeah, I wrote it down. It's going to happen. We do have a question from Sandy. Why does Arrow put so much effort into creating these experiences for residents?
I can extend off of like what I was saying earlier, unless Kayla, you wanted to
go ahead and I'll follow you.
Oh, I just like, again, I want residents to have something to look forward to. And I like, it's interesting. There are some communities that have historically been like, Can we give away Christmas presents to the residents at the resident Christmas party that usually happens a few days before Christmas? And I am emphatically against that, because I want presents given out on Christmas Day. Because if you are a resident who has nobody coming to visit you on Christmas Day, there is still going to be something that's happening in our building that is going to feel even remotely special. So you have something to look forward to on Christmas Day. Kayla, I don't know if you.
Yeah, I think it like just kind of goes in the line with all of our traditions. Like we want to incorporate every little aspect that you yourself as a resident have like celebrated in your home or in your life. Like we want to bring it to the community. And I think that just creates like a better quality of life. And like Amanda said, it's something to look forward to every single day. And I think even like as we age, like we love to give, but there is opportunities to give back during this 41 days of holiday cheer. But like that sense of just receiving something too. And like, even if it's just a type of event, like they still get that feeling.
I was going to say, one of our core values is that we want to have a childlike sense of wonder. And I think the holidays are always a time when you can give yourself permission to be playful. And if you look back at our Christmas videos over the years, they always center around embracing like your childlike faith and your belief in something good. And so I think that's the other thing that bringing this all together reminds us to be playful and to have that childlike experience during the holiday season. Because it's okay. It feels like it's okay at Christmas to be that way.
The one thing I was going to say too, going back to our shirts, like we do a fundraiser like for these labels. So they're like for sale on our website, and all the money or proceeds that we get from that, we are able to pick a school in the area and pay for children's lunches. So I love that aspect of it. We could literally go for like hours talking about all the little details that we put into this, but we can't.
Yeah, the holiday, it's just like an onion. There are layers upon layers of all kinds of goodness for people to find and unwrap.
Yeah, and if you want to unwrap it with us, definitely reach out. You can message me or message Arrow on LinkedIn, and we can get you set up to join us in this, because so fun. And we know, like you guys were just saying, like the holidays aren't always fun for everyone, but we're going to try our best to make it that way, make new traditions. Yeah.
It's so hilarious. If you think about this, my sister I think I'm saying this right, but I think she hates the holidays. Like, I don't know if I got all of the holiday cheer and there was just none left over for her. But the fact that we try to figure out ways to even, like, again, if you're somebody that doesn't enjoy the holidays or sees it as a place of stress, like, how can we alleviate that stress and like create some different ways to engage with the holidays?
Yeah, which it's funny, Amanda, I think you did get it all. Here, Mara even said, what a surprise, Amanda's excited about this at the beginning. Everyone knows Amanda's Queen of Christmas, and Kayla's right there with her. So yeah, I'm excited to see how this year goes, and yeah, just everything planned. And like you said, it gets easier and easier every year, I think, even on our end planning, because we've done it before. So
I hope people join us. Like, it really is so fun to do. So I hope people, even if you pick a couple of days from the calendar and embrace them, it could be fun.
Yeah, and it's just a good vision board too, I think, for your resident experience teams, like showing them this, and then, yeah, maybe they can't do it all in 1 month, but pick it out, or in 40 something days, but, pick out what they want to do or different things to try. I think that's the big thing too, is all these different traditions. It's like, try something new, because if you've been in events and programming for years, like it can feel like the same old around the holidays. So yeah.
Well, Rachel,
I think we did it.
I think we did.
So next week, we're going to go back to normal programming. We're going to talk about school partnerships. So please join us same time and place, and we'll look forward to seeing you all then. So thank you, Kayla and Amanda, so much. I'll see you guys later.
Bye.